And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking the Abu Dhabi Test. Who was on top? Does it really matter? How much it matters? And also the new people in their new teams. So here we go. Here is the post-season testing lineup that has, admittedly, already happened. So in the McLaren, we had Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and Pato O'Ward. In the Ferrari, we had the Leclerc brothers of Charles and Arthur, Antonio Fukuoka, names, Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull, alongside not quite the F2 champion, but nearly Isaac Hadjar. In the Mercedes, we've got George Russell, Frederick Vesti, and Kimi Antonelli making his debut as the official Mercedes number 1, number 2 driver. That's going to be interesting, isn't it, for 2025? Felipe Drugovich, Jack Crawford, Jack Dewar, that's in the Aston Martin, Jack Dewar and Paul Aaron in the Alpine, Esteban Ocon, Rio Hirakawa in the Haas. We have got in the RB Liam Lawson and Ayuma Iwasa. And in the Williams, we've got Carlos Sainz and Luke Browning. And in the Kick Sauber, we have Nico Hulkenberg and Gabriele Bortoleto. That's basically the official that's the official Kick Sauber lineup. So quite interesting here. And they've done it in championship order, I realise as well. Look at that. Look at that has their Formula 1. Obviously, with champions McLaren. So, here we go. Here is, I can't really zoom it in anymore, but just to let you know, we have Charles Leclerc ended up being fastest on a 1:23.510. The funny thing is, Carlos Sainz was fastest in the opening, kind of main stint of it, in the Williams on a 1:23.635. They are using slightly softer tyres, I believe, than they were in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But with Carlos Sainz, less within a tenth and a half of Leclerc. That's not bad at all. But once again, we don't know how relative these times are. George Russell was third with a 1:23.739. Then fourth was Hulkenberg. Fifth was Kimi Antonelli. Sixth was Iwasa. Seventh was O'Ward in the leading McLaren, who did a 1:24.222. Then we have Dewar, Aaron Ocon, Browning, Hirakawa. 13th was Lawson. 14th was Leclerc, and I'm assuming that's Arthur Leclerc. 15th was Hadjar. 16th was Lando Norris. That's how you know the times aren't representative, because we knew he was like 1.1 seconds off, and that he did a 1:24.678. So not quite representative. There's no way he's that much slower. He is, than Pato O'Ward, for example. So they're doing their programs, I'd imagine. Tsunoda 17th in the Red Bull on a 1:24.689. Bortoleto 18th. Piastri in 19th. Crawford in 20th. Drugovich in 21st. Vesti in 22nd. And Fukuoka in 23rd. Last but no means least, as we know, it is a test. So what does it mean? Absolutely nothing, if I'm really honest. I think one of the most important things of the test, which we'll get into in a second, would have been Yuki Tsunoda and how he did in that Red Bull. But before we go, here is Kimi Antonelli making his debut in the Mercedes. I do like his helmet, the Italian stylish helmet there. There we go. In this year's Mercedes, the official other driver, let's say, next to George Russell, who it's going to be really interesting to see Kimi versus George Russell. I fully expect George Russell not to dominate, but I'll be very surprised if George Russell doesn't come out on top in their first season. Having said that, 2007, Fernando Alonso in the McLaren alongside Lewis Hamilton, and it was Lewis Hamilton that reigned just supreme that year. So you never know. In a way, George Russell has it all to lose in terms of he's against kind of like a rookie. So if he doesn't win, that's going to make him look bad. And if Kimi's got nothing to lose if he finishes behind George Russell. I guess depending how much, he doesn't do a Perez and a Verstappen. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, not bad. If he beats George Russell, amazing. So there we go. So here is Esteban Ocon starting his Haas career. And if you notice, Carlos Sainz, I don't think we got a shot though, but he was in white. Because he's kind of like, I don't know if that's a sponsor thing, because we have Ocon here in full-on Haas garb. And there he is with his helmet. It's going to be really interesting because, as we know, it was Haas and Alpine that ended up fighting for that fiercely for that position. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. What are Haas going to do next year? They had such a good year this year. Alpine had such a good end to the year. And to be fair, finally, for the last two or three races, it finally looked like Sauber had something to write home about, didn't they? Bottas sadly not scoring any points here. This is obviously the Sauber team. There is Mr. Hulkenberg coming from Haas, speaking to the South. I would love Sportaletto. I think it's Sportaletto, isn't it? I would love to know what the drivers are going through their head when they first race those cars. For example, Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari gets in the Williams. What's the difference? What is better? What is not? I imagine most will not be as good as the Ferrari, but maybe there's certain things that are better. Remember, he's also dealing with a Mercedes engine, but he has dealt with that before in a McLaren, but he's been used to Ferrari since, 2021. So, I mean, there we go. So, let's talk about Yuki Tsunoda. He said, it feels like the car suits my driving style. I haven't struggled much at all to adapt. He kind of predicted that, thinking that the Red Bull was going to suit his driving style. I am happy more than ever at the moment. Obviously saying all the right things, praying that he's going to be in the Red Bull next year. As we said from our race review, if you look at it, absolutely it makes sense for Yuki Tsunoda to be in the Red Bull. The reason why, supposedly, is that the Haas team, have we got it a bit wrong there? The Haas team, not the Haas team, so what am I talking about? Not the Haas team. The Red Bull, supposedly, allegedly, behind closed quarters, seem to think that his head is not as strong as Liam Lawson's. They're going to know a lot more about it than obviously us. I don't know much about it. I don't know either of them. But that seems to be the thinking, that you need to have a strong head to go up against Max Verstappen. The last person to do anything decent against him was Daniel Ricciardo, and before that, funnily enough, Carlos Sainz. Why they didn't have Carlos Sainz in the Red Bull, I don't know. Probably because Verstappen and Sainz allegedly don't get on, or their dads don't get on. But we've talked about that before. But that's not happening. So the most obvious, the logical thing, arguably, would be Yuki Tsunoda. He out-qualified Liam Lawson the last few races, as much as I'd love to see Liam Lawson in that Red Bull. What I don't want for Liam Lawson is he goes in the Red Bull team, gets destroyed by Max Verstappen, it becomes another Alex Albon and another Pierre Gasly, another Daniel Kvyat from the Daniel Ricciardo days. No, I would much rather him develop as a driver in the V-Carb RB team and show us how good he can grow, become the awesome driver that I'm hoping he's going to be. And if Tsunoda, and then put Tsunoda in that Red Bull. If Tsunoda, by say the summer break, is not up to scratch, consider swapping him for Liam Lawson. It's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned, and it gives Liam Lawson the chance to grow outside the shadow of Verstappen. Tsunoda's saying, he thinks he's ready. What have you got to lose, Red Bull? What have you got to lose? Not much, have you? So, last but not least, Santander. Williams Racing is pleased to announce a new multi-year partnership with Santander that will begin in 2025. Yes, thank you very much, Carlos Sainz. James Vowell should be saying the celebration will start early, as the FW46 will feature the Santander branding for this week's end-of-season Abu Dhabi Test, where Carlos Sainz will take the wheel for the first time. Amazing. I mean, there we go. There's the wonderful Santander logo. Santander, and obviously there's Alexander Albon. I can't see Santander there. They're just showing pictures now, I think. Yeah, I believe they are. Can we see Santander? Yeah, no. But that's the Williams team. I love the Golf. Remember when McLaren did that Golf livery at Monaco? That was absolutely amazing, wasn't it? That was absolutely stunning. So, I mean, I'll leave you with the times. If you like what you see, please give us a subscribe. That would make me very happy. If you're not already subscribed, of course. If you don't want to miss a video, hit the notification button. We pretty much do a video every day. Quite often there's an F1 video every day. And then we have, obviously, our BTCC and WRC, World Rally Championship and the British Touring Car Championship news as we coming at the end of the year and going into next season. Anyway. Thank you very much. If you've made it to the end, you are, of course, an F1 World Champion. If you made it to the end and gave us a like or comment, you are a multiple F1 World Champion. Until then, we will speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Really appreciate everything. And every like, every comment, I do read them. I try and get to as many as I can. Every subscribe, I'm sad. I check my phone. It makes me smile, and I really, really appreciate it. Just the fact that you clicked on this and watched it is more than enough for me. It is amazing. I thank you very much. Speak to you soon, and stay safe.